Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where tonight a group of mad actors will attempt to survive the shark-infested custard of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and guest Dungeon Master, Sam Burns. And joining me is Jason Hildy-Piggledy Phelps, Ellie Sparrow, and Robbie Totally Sideways Bellekom. This is, I think, the only version of this intro we haven't done up to this point. So, yes, as you may have gathered by probably looking at the description for this is a bonus episode. So we're taking a break from the main storyline and doing a fun, low-stakes one-shot.
Life is extremely tiring.
Yes,
possibly a double
were too high.
Yeah, we might do a couple of one shots.
Yes.
Actually, we might just do some silly stuff for a bit because we all needed a little break, but we still wanted to play.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we still wanted you to join us in our games.
Absolutely.
You specifically you. Yes,
you.
Yes, you, Darren.
Yes,
Barry and Darren.
I love the fact that we actually know the names of several stowaways.
We know so
Barry
many,
and Darren.
None of them are Barry or Darren, as far as I am aware. But if you are, in fact, a Barry and or a Darren, do tweet us or write to us on Discord or something, because that's really funny.
Yeah.
yes.
And if you are Barry or Darren, yes, we did mean you.
If you are both, we specifically want to hear from you.
Oh, I very specifically want to hear from you if you're both a
Whether
Darren
you be
and a Barry.
Barry Darren or Darren Barry.
Or are you Barry Darren Barry? Fascinating.
Oh, that's a cruel name. If you imagine your surname is Barry, like sort of like James Barry, like Barry with an IE, and then someone and your parents named you Barry as your like
Barry.
shortened Bartholomew Barry.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Yeah, Barry would have had a hard time at school, wouldn't they?
You feel like David
I've got an
Davidson is
Uncle
hard.
Barry.
But
My grandmother named my Uncle Barry because she didn't want a name that people could shorten or give weird nicknames, and she ended up with a Bazza, so she was not.
I was going to say, you can still do
I'm
that.
sorry, but you can
Didn't think
shorten
that one
every
through.
single name if you want to enough.
Every single name, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can
And the shorter
see
the name,
Jason.
the longer the
Yeah.
nickname.
This is true.
Shay.
I mean,
Samothy.
would Barry...
Samothy is, Samothy
true,
is our
good point.
nickname. I could
Well, I don't know anyone else with
nickname
that name now,
a Jason if I wanted to.
J-Law.
Would Barry have a worse time at school than Mario?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
No, but Mario has a brighter career ahead of him. I don't know actually what Mario's plumbing career is like.
I feel like he'd be a really, really successful comedian.
You'd hope so.
Or just a very sad man who didn't want all the attention.
What ultimately was Barry's fate? To that, we must cast our minds
You're not
into
in
the...
charge today. I don't know why you're taking over.
No, we will...
Because
we will
otherwise
attempt-
we're going to have this conversation for the next hour.
Yeah, let's be the whole
We will
session.
attempt to deduce whether or not there is indeed a Barry and what their ultimate fate is by asking of us, future us, what messages from the present?
Greetings! I am Baron Darren Barry Darrington of the Barry-on-Darry Baron Downs, son of Baron Barry Darren Darrington of the Darry-on-Barry Baron Downs, not to be confused with the Barry-on-Darry Darren Browns or the Darry-on-Barry Baron Gowns, which is a dressmaker's club. And I bring you messages from the present. This episode of Flintlocks and Fireballs is brought to you by you. As ever, a massive thanks to our crew members on the Flintlocks Patreon who help keep this ship sailing. There is a wealth of extra content and bonus features for patrons, including regular blog posts, extra stories narrated by the cast, artwork, and a monthly poll for the community to help design an element to go into the game, typically an item, creature, NPC, or an environmental feature. You can check it out at patreon.com/flintlocks and fireballs, link in the description. We are an affiliate of dnddice.com, makers of beautiful specialty dice since 2010. Whether you need dice because you're masquerading as a vampire, calling Cthulhu, or are some sort of pathfinder gathering the magic munchkins, you can click through our affiliate link in the description and grab yourself, or a friend, some particularly sexy dice, or a particularly sexy dice bag. We are also an affiliate of Zavi, fine producers of nerdy garments and handy household items. Remember, you can click through the affiliate link in the description and use code FLINTLOCKS20 to take 20% off clothing and FLINTLOCKS10 to take 10% off not clothing. And that is it for announcements this time. Back to you, non-Darren, non-Barrys.
Given that for reasons of spoons, like the messages from the future are actually pretty standardised, I'll be quite surprised if we do have an answer
from
to
Barry.
that.
Yeah.
But hey, you never know. Maybe we'll get a guest messages
If I
from
get
Barry.
sent a recording from somebody called Barry, we will put it in. Unless it's
Excellent.
horrible, in which case we won't. If it's
Yes,
funny,
if we get a
we'll put
nice
it in.
recording from Barry or Darren,
Yes.
we'll put it in.
If your name's Barry or Darren, send us you saying something weird, we'll put it in.
Yes.
Oh my god, there's a rugby player called Darren Barry.
What?
Okay, well, what
That's
team do
who
they,
we were
what-
addressing.
what-
Does he
what
like
team do they
D&D?
play for?
English rugby union player, plays for Vans in Pro D. I don't know what these words mean.
Well, if you are
Well, that's
Vans
impressively
rugby,
speedy Googling there.
yeah, if you are Vans rugby player Darren Barry, and you
Explain
listen
to us what
this
these words mean
podcast-
and say hello.
Yes. Sam, please start the
Sports.
episode. at this point.
Absolutely, no, this is comedy gold, everybody. Okay. So, now that we have conclusively, I hope, at least for the moment, answered the Darren Barry Darren question, we shall begin Flintlocks and Fireballs.
Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains, brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs, there was an ongoing story which will not be touched on at all in this currently unfolding one. For this story, we begin on the 12th of Falling Blossom, 1795, in the city of Crosswater. Far away in Meadmere, little Corzin is celebrating his 5th birthday. But on this auspicious day in Crosswater, a ship is pulling into dock, named the Kingfisher. The gangplank is extended to the Cyprus dock, and as the crew and passengers begin to disembark, it becomes apparent to all there present that there is a distant rumbling that can be heard. The people in the city appear to be going to and fro about their daily concerns, but a rumbling appears to be audible and getting closer. It's not as if approaching thunder, but everyone seems to be looking around, slightly bemused as to where it is coming from. None more so than the 3 figures who are currently disembarking, which include the rather tall Fastur. Jason, if you'd like to describe what the people observing would see.
The first figure of these 3 to step down the gangplank is pretty hard to miss. The plank creaks underneath them as just over 10 feet tall is one of the largest humanoid figures you're likely to have seen. He is definitely not human, and doesn't quite look how the fairy tale books might anticipate. He is fully clothed, for one, and not so much dragging a club after him as using as a walking stick a 10-foot tall, thick, you could call it a quarterstaff, cudgel, possibly caber might be more appropriate.
Yeah.
This is Fastur Stomagi, is an ogre. He looked with tanned yellow ochre skin, thick hair the hue of sort of red clay, and faded grey-blue eyes. He actually more resembles a bugbear than a human, but if larger and slightly differently proportioned in build. He, as well as his huge length of wood, wrapped at both ends in bands of leather, the most obvious item of clothing he wears is a large cut and stitched for him, hand-stitched blue coat. It might once have been a much deeper dye, but time and weather have faded it to almost a sort of gunmetal grey. There's just still the hints of the original blue here and there. There are many signs of hand-stitching, mending, repair, and it is festooned with pockets, inside and outside. And as he goes down, staff in one hand, long sort of pack slung over his back, with notably a musket stock sticking out of it. He reaches one meaty hand into a pocket, takes out a handful of, we just stopped off at thrine, so I'm going to say hazelnuts, and just munches on them as he continues descending the plank.
And following him, we see the figure of a human person. Robbie.
Human person.
Yes.
Just leave the description of that. It's amazing.
No, I've been in games of D&D where there is no description other than human, like height, weight, gender. No,
As
just
have
human.
I.
So,
Items of clothing? Nope, no.
Nothing.
Carry on.
Just a human.
we have Francis, a human mask-presenting person who uses they and he pronouns. Sort of, I mean, the word is scruffy. Whereas, like, Fastur's coat is faded because it's well cared for and old. Francis is just a bit of a mess. Everything's got holes in that they've probably not noticed are even there. They've got a sort of sleeveless jerkin that's like a dark purpley colour, and sleeveless but not intended to be sleeveless because sleeves are bullshit.
Blue sleeves.
Wearing basically shorts and pretty high, like calf-high boots. Calf? Is that what? Yes, the bits I want.
Yeah.
Pretty muscular. They're not scrawny, but like toned muscle, but not like bulky. Sort of bedhead, dirty blonde hair, quite closely cropped on the sides and longer on top, so nearly a mohawk, but not fully. And strapped to their back, quite a few weapons. There is a couple of short swords. There is a longbow, which is not that common at this time, but they like it, so fuck it.
You're saying this is the only longbow in the party.
I mean, yeah. Maybe that's one of the reasons we get on.
Maybe.
But
Bow
then,
buddies.
yeah, he's not calmly walking down the gangplank onto the docks. He's standing on the side of the ship going, "Hey, faster! I bet I can jump from here."
I bet you can't.
I bet I can. I bet I can.
Oh, I should have worded that as I bet you can't land. By which point I imagine you've already jumped.
Wording is important, I'd say as I jump.
Plates, do you witness this?
Yes, I do witness this. I think I just probably stare at the whole exchange with wide eyes, not knowing the implications of anything. That's probably what's happening.
Would you like to describe yourself before I inevitably roll terribly?
Sure, should we get a little cheeky description in before we see how the fall goes?
Yeah.
The camera
I'm
pans
going to get
over,
enough
time
D6s for
slows.
this.
Yeah, so whilst in slow motion my companion is throwing themselves off a boat for no reason, which is a good way to begin a character, basically there is a very, very small person, a gnome, using they-them pronouns. Actually, Jason, what's Fastur's pronouns?
I hear him.
He, him. Lovely. Cool. But yeah, so Plate is very, very small, and basically, if you looked at them, every single thing about them would be blue and white, except for big, wide purple eyes, and big red cheeks, basically. They've got this, like, shock of white hair that's in, like, little messy space buns, a la, like, Spice Girls in the 90s, is what we're talking. But, like, on a child, like those kinds of space buns. They're really big. And joining the big buns are some very, very big glasses that make these huge, wide purple eyes look even bigger than they actually are. Clothing is kind of weird, basically. The thing that stands out most about their clothing would be some very strange armour. It's kind of like scale mail, but entirely made of broken bits of china, probably china plates, you would imagine, that are all white and have been hand painted in blue with really quite nice designs of like little flowers and rabbits and trees and just things Plates has seen, basically. Really disproportionately big boots, because that's funny. They're blue, so that they match the blue and white. And a staff that has a teacup and saucer on the end, that is in a little bracket and looks like it would be detachable. Also white china with blue paint on it. So yeah, very, very teeny gnome. Just
Excellent.
Surprisingly resilient porcelain staff.
looking not remotely nervous enough for how big that fall is, just sort of watching with amusement and sketching a random sailor they've seen nearby while all this happens. They have a little sketch pad that they take everywhere.
Excellent.
Did you say they have a longbow as well?
They do have a longbow. There's a longbow slung across their back, which is probably huge on somebody that is 3 foot tall.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's definitely taller than you.
Yeah, I think it probably drags on the
Twice the
floor a
heart
bit.
size of you.
Yeah, this. Whew.
It's a really extreme diagonal.
Has it been painted blue
Yes.
or white?
I'm going
is
to
it
say the bow
don't
is
know how
blue
it
and the
works.
arrows are white, because that's fun.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right, Francis, make me an acrobatics check.
Excellent, I'm good at that. Oh, I've rolled not bad, not terribly, but that makes it a 22 because I'm good at acrobatics.
22. Okay, that is enough. You only then take
Oh dear. This is a great start.
6 points of falling damage.
Excellent. That was very good. You're very good at falling.
Do I make it to the dock?
You do, but also, whereas I assume you were going for kind of like a superhero landing or like a drop and roll, you kind of just sort of splat onto all fours and have to like slowly stand up to your full height again. You know.
Yeah, meant to do that. That's.
I can tell that was really good.
Yeah, exactly. I win the bet. We did not agree organised terms.
I reach into one of my pockets, bring out 8 silver pennies, which are literally all the money I have. Carefully take one and drop it in your hand.
Great, I will take that.
I give you a cupcake.
I immediately... Oh, no, did you give who a cupcake?
I give Francis a cupcake for falling well. Do you want one?
Yes,
There you
please.
go. You can have a cupcake.
It just instantly disappears into my mouth. I just keep eating. Assume I'm always eating unless I say other, unless something will prevent me from doing
You will
so.
say
Noted.
if you're not eating.
Yeah.
All right. After you have all fully disembarked, you move into the Fastur. You would remember from your previous visit here, albeit a long time ago,
Back in the
is more or less the
1500s.
center of town. There is still a distant rumbling noise that is it's not overly oppressive, but it's constant. Just like
Does this town usually make noises?
Yes.
Oh, that's fine then.
I remember.
No. I don't. I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue. Where are we?
Crosswater.
That was it.
We crossed the water to get here, so I guess that makes sense.
It does, actually. I'll follow
Vasta
that.
takes the huge stick and points at the river that, if I remember correctly, cuts through the centre of town, which you just be able to make out in between the buildings.
Crosses over the water.
That's clever.
Right.
Can I make a check to see if I can identify what that rumbling is?
absolutely you can. Anyone who can or wants to can do that.
Yeah,
Could
I'm
I do
curious
either
enough.
nature or arcana? Would either of those be relevant?
Ooh,
Yeah, actually, what's
You
the
know
right
what?
check? That's a good question.
there is genuinely a reason for this, but for Fastur it would be a perception check. But for the the other two of you, it would be either a nature check or an insight. I think would be, yeah.
Okay. Oh, do you?
You know,
want
my
our
insight
passives? I
actually isn't
realise
bad. I'm
we
going to
haven't-
use that.
We haven't given you our passive perceptions. Do you want those?
That would be useful. If I can grab those off you now, then.
My passive perception is 9.
Congrats.
Faster is a little short-sighted.
My passive perception is 16,
Okay.
but my roll is
Well-
way higher.
My passive perception is 26.
And my
But if I'm
roll,
rolling insight and nature, this is going to not be good.
was a 17. It was 18
Oh, I
minus
rolled
1.
really good.
Okay.
What is your roll, Bobs?
I rolled a 22.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 20 on insight, which
Nice.
makes it 26.
Well then, this is a fantabulous conglomeration of information you all collectively get at once. Then,
Excellent.
first of all, Fastur, you can see actually kind of on the horizon a cloud of dust rising up in between some of the buildings. Plates. You've actually weirdly experienced this exact thing before. Not on this continent, and certainly not in the middle of a built-up area. Francis, you get the distinct impression that this rumbling noise is being made by a large number of creatures all moving in a concerted direction.
Great.
And this is borne out as all of you see entering into this this large central square a large number of what look to be bovine-like animals. They're not familiar to I would guess either Fastur or Francis. They're like cows, but huge. These these are giant horned bovine type creatures. They immediately start stampeding through the crowd. The crowd is starting to scream and is clearing out of the way as best they possibly can, left and right. You are aware that there is a tradition in, I believe, it might actually have been in Thrine, where there is a specific tradition where a load of bullocks are run through a town. However, these are definitely not bullocks. They are too big to be bullocks. They are massive. The average human would come up to maybe the top of their forelegs. And they are definitely moving with some concerted purpose to the other side of where you currently are.
Cool.
There are people going left and right, and there is a secondary stampede of people just trying to get out of this herd's way.
They are big cows.
Okay. I think
Place
I have
looks
a terrible
very
idea.
unfazed.
I have a terrible idea. Can I?
Yeah, go on.
I'm literally saying this in character. Can I do a terrible idea?
Your terrible ideas are usually fun to watch, so I'm going to say yes.
I plant my stick and just shout at the crowd, "Out of the way!"
Fastur,
Okay.
can I get on your shoulders so I can draw the big cows?
I reach down a hand so you can get up onto my shoulders. And
It's
just
a long
pull
way.
you up onto
Okay,
my
that's going to be
shoulders.
either a persuasion or intimidation check to get people to move out of the way. Your choice.
It's the same. That would be a 9 because I am neither of those. I have neither of those as a skill.
There are a couple of people who are running basically in your direction anyway, who do kind of swerve around you at the last moment, but you can't be entirely certain that that was in any way due to you saying get out of the way.
Well then, we're just gonna have to. I'm not moving out of the path of these bullocks. I'm just getting ready to catch dinner.
How far away are they?
They are the other side of the square at the moment and still accelerating, so maybe 100 feet away from you currently?
Cool. I would like to wait until they are 60 feet away and then shoot an... It's not an arrow, it is an arrow because I'm reflavouring some of these things, so I'm not really doing magic. Because this is not a caster. But I'm going to shoot an arrow right at the front lot, which will explode into
Okay.
webs.
Webs, okay.
Yep.
Kind of
Basically
look like
sticky stuff.
yeah. You've got
Okay.
sort of like alchemist glue,
Yeah.
and a black powder explosive.
Now,
Yeah.
web's 20 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm basically
Noted.
casting web. It is a 20-foot square.
Okay, cool. Noted. Yes, you do this. I guess this would be a roll to hit, but I'm going to give you advantage just as you're not aiming at a specific target. It's just like an area.
Cool. What is that? That is loads. If I'm aiming to hit an area, that's 30.
Oh, wow. Okay, right. Okay. So,
It's not a high DC to save against it, but it becomes difficult terrain at least.
yeah, the DC being strength, right?
Dex save.
Oh, Dex. Okay.
Only 13 though. I think it's based on intelligence. Or maybe not. No, it can't be because otherwise it would be lower.
Well, they all collectively just rolled a 1. So what in fact happens is that the leading animals just basically like unexpectedly stop dead and then are piled into behind by all of the bovine creatures that are behind them, and they get it's essentially like a
32 car
50
pile
or
up.
60 cow pile up.
To
There is a
escape
lot
it
of
now is a strength check, but yeah, the initial one's a deck save, so they're probably going to get out soon.
There is a lot of scrabbling and moving and gnashing of hooves. There's a couple at the back who managed to go around the outside, but having kind of broken off from the herd, are starting to slow down and look a little bit confused as they are in a large, now more or less clear area that looks a little bit like a giant paddock. That they're sort of just now kind of ambling around, slightly confusedly, seeing if there's any way out of here, and not finding one yet. It's at this moment that you see two figures. An orcish gentleman, closely followed by a human lady. The orcish gentleman is a rather broad-chested and powerfully built man who has a large straw hat on his quite cavernous head. And he is running at full pelt, trying to catch up with this herd. He has a manner of dress that suggests that maybe, like yourselves, he is not a native of these parts. He's closely followed by a quite smartly dressed woman with olive skin, dark hair, and a flowing military blue kind of frock coat. You're not quite certain if she is chasing him or she is chasing after the bovine creatures, but they definitely seem to be people who are concerned with catching up here. As the leading man does, he bends double and starts reaching out a hand and brushing the flank of one of the lead cow creatures. I was like, I ain't never seen him behave like that before. And he looks over at the web along the front of these creatures. Oh, is that what passes for cattle grids in this part of the world?
By this point, we're just striding over.
I'm still on your shoulder, drawing the pile of cows.
The woman, when she arrives, says, "Now, Orville, I thought we talked about this. I told you can't keep them within the city limits." And she walks up to the three of you and says, "Do I have you three to thank for this?"
Are these your livestock?
They're his livestock, specifically.
In which case, this is yours. I tear off the drawing of the pile of cows and give it to him. They are your cows, so it's your picture. Here you go.
And the orc takes it. Thank you very much. You're mighty talented.
If this is our doing, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because if it's a bad thing, we had nothing to do with it, and our innocent bystanders.
Well, the woman says, now look, you don't think you could be in any way persuaded to get them to go back in the opposite direction, let's say back to where they came? And the orc says, well, hold on a minute, hold on. Now, I know we're several short. We must have missed a few. I think they've been rustled.
The cows usually rustle. Sounded more like rumbling to me.
I'd call it rumbling. Rustle's not a word I'd used.
Sorry, I'm... where are my manners? Jan Venderkrilt, captain of the watch.
What do you watch?
The city, mainly.
Is it fun?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Now look, I understand that these, what was it, bison, are very, very precious livestock, but we cannot have them inside the city limits. You're going to have to move them back to the designated area we allotted for them. And the orc says, "Well, I'd be perfectly happy to do that, but I need some additional protection. Now, Orville Olafson, pleased to meet all of you. And now I was understanding that the place that you had provided for us would be safe, but I know that we're definitely at least 3 head down. Now, I don't know who's been carrying him off, but evidently something has spooked these beasts fierce."
You have to be very big to carry a cow.
I bet I could do it. Fastur, do you think you could do it? I bet I can carry more cows than you.
Fastur looks down at the cows, looks at you. Cows, yes. Cows, no. These... Looks between them. I don't think we could carry more than 1 at a time.
Yeah, these looks like they average about 3/4 of a ton.
Right.
It's like a third
maybe
taller
carrying
than
might be a
you.
little...
The captain of the watch says, "Well, look, clearly you've dealt with this sort of thing before. I mean, I don't know anyone else who would have thought about putting a sticky trap down like that before."
We are cow experts.
Well, do you think you could persuade them in a relatively orderly manner to move back outside the city limits? I would be very much appreciated. We've got 3 days before King Victor's annual visit, and we can't have this. It's a public nuisance.
You're a
King
public
doesn't
nuisance.
like cows.
Sorry. Who's good? Any of you? Are you any good with cows?
I could talk to them. I could ask them nicely to leave. Entire sincerity, like complete sincerity.
Yeah.
I am entirely here for whatever the consequences of that will be. Fastur, any good with cows?
Cows are usually pretty chilled out. I could ask them. See what they say.
Yeah, they seemed super chill when they were charging us down.
Fastur kind of looks at them. Good with cows. If you have some horseradish,
Okay,
maybe some
plates. Talking to the cows.
Yes. I don't have any horses or radishes, though.
I reach into a pocket, pull out 3 little radishes, pop one in my mouth, chew it.
Oh, well, you have radishes. We just need a horse, then.
Are there any horses around?
There were, but most of them have bolted now.
Run from the large herd of fucking cows.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, you said you'd lost 3 of them, and you need all the other ones to go back to where they were, yes?
Yeah, that would be ideal. I'd like to know where those 3 have gone, because I'm pretty certain they are not in the city here.
We are
Right.
expert trackers. We can find your cows.
Well, I certainly would appreciate it. I would pay handsomely. These mighty fine beasts are worth their weight in gold.
They're
They
quite
weigh a
heavy.
lot. Are you being literal? Is this person being literal?
Make an insight check.
Ooh, 12.
Okay. Probably hyperbole, but he's sincere in the fact that they are worth a lot.
I think me and my
Especially
9
they're worth a lot
intelligence
to
probably
him.
don't know that word, so...
We'll get you your 3 for 1. Fastur gestures to one of the cows.
As a pet? Entire sincerity.
Yes.
Well,
As
I
a
could.
pet.
Until we need them.
That
I would like a
seems-
cow friend.
Well, that seems like a reasonable trade. I'm sure we could finalize that on delivery.
We'll I'll find your 3.
He adjusts the tiny bit of straw that is protruding from one of his tusks. Now, we only arrived here about a week ago, and that there should be a clearly demarcated place outside of town for these beasts. Usually, I had a bunch of people helping me, but they're asking to be paid by the hour. So, unfortunately, it's just ourselves. What were you thinking? How long is this sticky thing gonna last?
An hour or until I get really distracted. So
10 seconds.
Hey!
All right. Well, we'd best.
You have very good concentration.
I have the best concentration. Look how concentrated I am.
Wow, that's really good. Complete
know,
sincerity once more.
We'd best corral them then. You say that you had the ability to speak directly to them?
Yes.
Well, maybe you could find out exactly what had them so spooked.
Cows are good friends, I'm sure they'll tell me.
Maybe there's something weird and invisible around that we can't see.
That does happen sometimes.
Which I could see. Where are my goggles? I'm going to pull a pair of goggles down and just cast see invisibility through them.
Make a perception check.
Ooh. That is a 28.
28. Wow. Okay.
I get advantage and I have expertise. I have a lot of perception.
Okay. You don't see anything that is phased out of this plane of reality or anything, but you do see on a rooftop adjoining a rather distracted-looking figure who is kind of pacing up and down, apparently looking at an hourglass. They sort of look around, catch you looking in their direction. The sun glints off their bald pate, and they look down at you, see that you're looking at them, sort of sigh, and then turn the hourglass over again, pull a small bottle from the depths of their robe, and drink the contents.
I'm gonna wave.
They hold up a hand in the most cursory of acknowledgements, and then walk back from the edge of the roof that they're on.
I look in the direction you waved at, but my eyesight is so bad, I can't even see the roof.
Did you see a cow on the roof?
Maybe there's cows on the... No, there was a person with an hourglass thing and a potion, but maybe there's cows. Should we check?
Yes.
Maybe we should move the cows
I mean, we don't know they didn't fly or disappear or something.
Cows first.
The roof, fine.
I want to get paid. These look tasty.
I mean, you do the cow talking thing. I'm just going to have a wander over and see if I can see what's going on.
I'm going
Okay.
to pick you off my back and lower you down in front of the cow. Just sort of
I'm going to walk
nose
over
to
to the
snout.
building
Okay.
and then walk up the side of the building
Of course.
as though it is entirely flat. Just continue walking and go up the side.
Who are we going to first? Are we having a cow chat or a roof
We'll
chat?
have a cow
I'll
chat,
do the
and then
cow
we'll find
chat, 'cause
out
I'm in no
what
rush.
Francis discovers.
I'm walking. I'm sauntering.
Buster looks over. It's it's rare that he travels with people who are more attention grabbing than him.
I'm going to hold a cupcake up to the cow and say hello and can I speak with animals.
Okay. It sniffs the cupcake and then begins to nibble it cautiously.
Yes, you have a cupcake. Hello, what is your name? I'm Plates.
Hello. my name is Rory, but you're the first one like you who I've come across who can speak to us.
Oh, well, some people are very rude, what can I say? I'm very polite. I like to talk to everybody. Rory's a very nice name for a cow. So you all looked quite worried about something, and you made all the rumbling sounds and went very fast, and now you've stopped. And somebody said that you were supposed to be somewhere else. So, like, what's going on there, Rory?
Someone or something is stealing us away. The giant eagle.
Oh. Like, how giant are we talking? Like, bigger than you?
Yes, very big.
That's very big. So, the 3 cows that are missing, were they taken by the big bird? Is that what you're saying?
I think so.
Oh dear. Is that why you all ran away, or is the giant bird there?
Well, we didn't see it, and then there was a big whoosh, and we all started running. I don't know where everyone else is.
Big whooshes can be scary. What are the names of the cows that are missing, just so I can call out for them and they'll know that it's somebody safe, please?
I think there was Gertie. There was also Axel and Phyllis. Phyllis, one of the older ones.
Yes, make your DM name all the cows. Come on.
Yes.
I have to
all
ask,
of the cow names.
with how your magic works, are you just like speaking Jovan and understanding what the cow is saying,
mooing.
or are you mooing?
I'm definitely mooing. You have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, the rest of you are hearing. But probably lower than that.
So I have to find Gertie, Axel, and Phyllis. You also have to go back to your field, apparently, because they don't want you in the city. But I think you deserve to be in the city if you want to be. So I can't tell you what to do.
Are we going to be safe there?
I mean, if there's a giant eagle, probably not.
Really helpful.
At this point, I was like, don't forget to tell them what
It's
to
the
do.
only thing bigger than us we've seen since we arrived.
Is it like how many of him is it? I point at my ogre friend.
You're struck by the fact that this bison has not really had to make that comparison.
It's a cow, it can't do numbers. Yeah, fair play.
The best that they can come up with is many.
Okay, lots. Lots is a big number.
Yes.
Thank you for your help, Rory. Go back to your field if you want.
Can I? I'm stuck.
Oh, you are stuck. Yeah. Hang on, Francis.
Have you got any grass?
Yeah.
Could you stop concentrating on the web thingy? Half of this comes out in cow, and then I correct. Sorry, I mean not mooing. Please get rid of the web.
No webs. Got it.
Okay. The webs slowly recede, and the cows start to spread out a little bit more, and I'm going to say if your intention is to try and get them to go back where they came from, it's going to be either an animal handling check or a persuasion check. I'll say with advantage because you have at least a language in common.
I actually don't know if I'm trying that hard to get them to go back.
Okay.
I'm not trying that hard.
Just see, I have no idea what you're saying, but... So will they go back?
My friend wants you to go back.
He's scary.
He's not really. He's quite nice. If you give him snacks, he's really sweet.
Is the green man going to be there?
Who is the green man?
They indicate the orc.
I turn to the orc. The cows say, "Are you going to be there if they go back to their field?"
Oh, absolutely. I mean, somebody's got to keep an eye on them until we can get this situation straightened out.
Okay, he says yes.
Okay.
He also said he'd keep an eye on you, so maybe that means the field is safer.
Gonna get down, kind of shuffle my positioning of plates around, and just get down on one knee and just look the lead, like Rory, although I don't know that's his name, in the eye.
Yeah.
Rory needs to roll a wisdom save.
Okay. Rory rolled a 5.
Yeah, so Rory just like... It's not obvious magic here. It's just... So from any exterior standpoint, I'm just kneeling down and just looking really intensely at Rory. Enough that Rory can't really look away. Until I do something else, basically Rory is incapacitated. Their speed drops to 0. They're visibly dazed. And I just, like, hold the gaze for a few moments. Go back.
He said go back.
Oh, okay.
I blink, breaking the hypnotic gaze.
Right. Alright. The bison slowly starts to turn around and edge their way back through the rest of the herd of the cows, and is starting moving in a slow but deliberate manner back the way that they came. And after a few moments, the rest of the herd start to follow, with Orville kind of dashing around and just sort of herding the any stragglers back in the direction of Rory, leading these bison out of the city, just down one of the main thoroughfares.
Hi, Rory.
What?
His name's Rory. The 3 that we have to find are called Gertie, Axel, and Phyllis, so we could just ask around and see if anyone has seen a Gertie or an Axel or a Phyllis, and people will probably know if they're here or not.
I'll ask the roof person.
Okay. As you reach the top of the roof, you find a bald-headed, mustachioed figure waiting for you. They stare at you, and it's like, as you're going up, I assume you've kind of like walked up the side of the building like a right angle, and just sort of go doing 90 degrees, and they're just
really
there waiting
core.
for you. Yeah, they're just there waiting.
Somewhat magically assisted, but...
Good afternoon.
Hi, have you seen a Gertie, an Axel, or a... Was it
Phyllis! It's Phyllis!
Just shouting
Phyllis.
this up there.
Yeah.
I am afraid I have not, and it would appear that my experimentations with invisibility have also failed.
Oh, right. Sorry. Possibly not? I see a lot of things.
Evidently.
Hi, I'm Francis. I'm going to stick out a hand.
Jimothy Buchanan. He extends what looks like a hand.
I will shake that hand.
It feels almost like a hand.
That's the worst description.
That's the worst.
Oh.
I gather you have had some rustling problems.
Apparently, but I've been hearing, like, rumbling more than that, rustling, so...
The two do tend to go together on occasion. I have heard that there are tremendous rumblings in Orsyria, although I believe that may have had something to do with the sausages.
The sausages tend to rumble here too.
How good is your
hope so.
perception? Because
That
they're
sounds
on top of
amazing.
a rooftop. I can't hear this.
Oh, I imagine that I caught a word or two. Rather than the whole conversation. I
I
think I've heard
imagine you're now at
sausages
the
and
bottom.
rumbling, and that's it.
Like, you're at the bottom of the building.
We've
We're
wandered
just
over to the bottom.
Yeah, I'm imagining this is about like a 3-story building.
Okay, I've just lifted you up to.
I
the
pretty
edge of
much
the
wanted to shout up to the man trying to be stealthy because I thought it was funny. So-
Is Jimothy in fact invisible?
Yeah, you can't. Neither of you can see who Francis is talking to.
I don't retract
I've
my
picked
statement
the
about
best
rumbling
magic item.
sausages.
Yeah, I can't see on top of this building, so I'm just holding you up, and you're the only one who can see that Francis is talking to thin air.
Francis is having a little chat with himself.
Sam let us pick some really stupidly powerful magic items for this.
Yeah.
Oh, I
did
have
so
some really
knowingly.
dumb shit.
I did so
like-
knowingly.
Oh yeah, no, it means that like these idiots have too much power. I can cast see invisibility at will
That's amazing.
and detect magic.
I can do nothing sensible with loads of things that aren't sensible.
Am I to understand that you are not usually able to see invisible creatures?
Oh, I tend to keep it on because it's useful. Not that it happens very often, to be honest. But the goggles look cool, right?
Yes. I was going to ask you if it was not some form of magical effect, if you would be willing to donate one of your eyeballs for scientific study.
Will I get it back?
Mostly.
Pass for now. Wait, when you say donate, there's no, like, I don't get anything back in exchange.
You will have the comfort and knowledge of knowing you have furthered scientific endeavour.
Pass. Hard pass. Not even like a pizza or cupcakes. Nothing?
I'm sure an arrangement could be reached.
Still pass for now. Put, like, rain check on that. Am I asking this person anything? There's a Jimothy person.
Oh, you can ask if they know anything about a really big bird. The cows
Big
said,
birds.
oh yeah, I forgot to say the cows. They said that like a really big bird had come and taken them, like bigger than the cows, and they said it was as big as lots of you.
Okay, 25 on a nature check to see if I recognise that.
Okay, a 25 on a nature check.
Really big bird is all you're getting.
And you needed a 25 because, yes, Fastur, you have not actually, and this is a situation where, Jason, you may know more about the Deep Lore than I do. Well, you definitely do, but, it is a creature that, would be known to you as a giant, but at least in this part of the world, would be, if it were known at all, would be taken to be now extinct. It is a large, very large, eagle-like creature known as a rock. In ancient times, giants used to use rocks in much the same way as the smaller races use griffins or giant eagles as aerial assault troops, basically. These birds were tremendously large and usually only found in heavily mountainous regions. Finding one here on what appears to be
Mostly
largely
plains, yeah.
it would be incredibly unusual. Also, just incredibly exposed. But then again, they have no natural predators. They are the apex predator in this situation.
Dream
The only thing that was really as big as them in terms of size were some of the more ancient dragons.
We're in trouble.
As if it sounds like a rock.
Oh, one other thing. In Haldanos, they would have been known occasionally to carry off the odd elephant, but generally there was nothing anyone could do about it.
Yeah, mostly they're just...
The elephant's theirs now.
Yeah.
They mostly prey on, like, horses. Like, grab 2 at a time, so...
Yep.
Bison's a good treat. It's like...
Also, bison are not native to this this continent.
I have never seen one, but my mother's mother said in the old ones, in the days before they fashioned clouds to fly, would ride such creatures through the sky.
Okay, now you're confusing me. Because I said, the cow said it was a big bird, and then you said it was a rock, and now I'm just picturing a
Rocks can't fly.
And like that happens sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes rocks fly, but
Do they?
Yes. That
Because I've dropped a
happens.
lot of rocks off things, and they've always fallen.
Maybe you weren't being very polite.
We need to find some rocks.
One day, you will see rocks fly. The old ones knew the way of how.
That was very impressive. That had presence.
Yeah. I got like a tingle.
Will you tell me bedtime stories like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay!
Given that sometimes I do actually tell you bedtime stories, I'm going to have to give a character that voice.
You are. That was in and out of character demand.
I mean, I'm probably going to use that for Treebeard when we
I was
eventually
going
get
to
into
say
the
that's a
second.
tree bird voice.
When we eventually
Yeah,
get
that's
into
We're very
Two
slowly
Towers.
reading Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings. It's very exciting. 10 out of 10 recommend partners reading to each other, by the way. It's the best.
It's really nice.
So jealous. That's
We haven't
lovely.
done that in ages.
Anyway.
Jimothy. What
Yeah.
what were we talking about? I got completely lost because apparently rocks can fly?
It all depends on what substances you add to them.
Well, I mean, that... Ha.
You were declining my generous offer to further the scientific understanding of the
That
world.
was it. Yeah, no, holding on to my eyes.
I would probably only need one.
Yeah, but I
Probably.
kind of need two to shoot with the depth perception and... No,
Depth
leave it
perception is a useful trait to have, I suppose.
for now.
If
Could
you
put
change
a
your
different,
mind.
Like, could I have a different eye instead? Have you got any spares? What about
Yes.
like
I would have to measure you for one,
a
however.
cat's eye or something? No, cats are a bit small. What's bigger than a cat? Plates, what's bigger than a cat?
I'm bigger than a cat sometimes.
Cats come in various different sizes.
Fastur, you know about nature stuff. What's bigger than a cat?
A horse.
Oh, I've got
horse
one.
eye.
I put up a hand. The cows are bigger than cats.
Rocks.
Cow. Now I know rocks don't have eyes.
Sometimes they do. Depends where you are.
What? Which? You need to show me these rocks that have eyes and can fly.
That just happens sometimes. Depends on the day.
Like, is there a specific day for rocks having eyes?
No, not really. They just sort of do it when they feel like it. Sometimes when you're in the mountains.
Mountains. I've not done mountains.
Sometimes
Okay,
they're
we need to
flying
find some
rocks.
mountains. Are there any mountains near here?
He thinks for a moment. I am just trying to marry out of character
geography.
knowledge and in character knowledge.
The nearest mountains are like a good 150 miles south.
Right.
So, depends how near is near.
None nearby, but I am currently conducting some very interesting experiments with molehills.
Okay.
If you change your mind, please inquire at Jimothy Buchanan, alchemist.
Did your friend who isn't there say that his name is Jimothy?
Yes.
Does he know the song?
Do you know the song?
He sighs. Yes.
Yes.
And you should not.
Apparently I should not.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? I'm great at singing.
It's a really good song. I like it.
I can sing. I'm gonna sing something. I don't know any songs. Okay. Singing maybe not my thing. I've got a drum. Do you want to hear the drum?
Perhaps
Are we having a jam
another
session?
time.
Oh, I could go for some jam.
Come to Jimothy. You'll have fun in Jimothy. And as he's walking away, I say walking. You can't see legs. He's just sort of hoovering away.
Like a Segway. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I always picture it. Like a Segway, but you can't see the Segway.
Until the sun sets. And you do see actually as he reaches the opposite side of the rooftop, he does in much the same way that you did, kind of just shift at a right angle and start moving down the wall.
I give him a round of applause for singing.
As I lower you down.
I'll walk back down the wall.
All right. So you can still see the retreating backs of the bison, and Captain Vanderkrild comes across to you and says, "Well, look, I'm not sure how you did that, but if you can actually sort this problem out, I would be very, very grateful, and I'd be willing to make a one-time donation to you as contractors for the City Watch."
Alright.
This represents. She gestures to the retreating bison. This represents a problem. It also represents a problem I don't currently have the staff to deal with. If you could deal with it, I can make it worth your while, or rather, the taxpayer can.
Great. So it's like the opposite of paying taxes.
Essentially.
What are taxes?
Because I'm not good at that.
You
Not
do
worth
surprise
talking.
me.
The system by which the strong draw from the weak.
I don't think that's how it's supposed to work.
So it's like a live drawing class?
Yes.
Right. I know what those are. Cool.
So we're gonna find this flying rock with eyes. Is that the plan?
If that's what caused the bison to come charging in here, then yes. And
Well, if they have Gertie, Axel, and Phyllis, then I am invested, so I'm going to say yes.
I'm just gonna whisper to Fastur, what are the chances of Gertie, Axel, or Phyllis being alive? Are our odds good here?
Given what you rolled earlier, not great.
I think for a moment. Let us say that I am glad we are being offered alternative payment.
Right, okay, maybe should have packed a cleric with us, but, oh well!
Well, you do now know an alchemist if you are short on healing supplies.
Oh no, I was thinking more resurrecting the cows.
That might be a little outside of your price range.
From that said, though, Fastur
I'm sure Plates understands money, so like...
scratches his chin. Once, the old ones rode them through the skies. Perhaps we could do the same.
See, bedtime stories, right? That was amazing.
Yeah, that would be so soothing. But are you saying we capture this flying rock with eyes?
Or are you saying that we ride Axel, Gertie, and Phyllis through the skies? Because I'm honestly down for either at this point.
Oh, flying cows, yes. How do we get flying cows?
You just go to the right place. They're there sometimes.
You've got to take me to these places.
Sure, if there's another hole, we can go.
I am so ready to crawl in any hole you point at.
Well, that sounds fun. If another hole comes up, I'll get you and we'll go together.
Perfect.
Find this rock, then yes. To see mountains again.
Oh, we can find mountains. That's easy.
Hungry.
A cupcake?
I'd happily take one and immediately go. Let us ask if anyone has seen the rock. And while we do...
The Rock.
Has anyone seen Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Well, that would be the best thing if we were like, we have to find The Rock, and just Dwayne The Rock Johnson's there. Hello.
It's like sniffs.
You're welcome.
Oh, well, I mean, that's blown the guest star have revealed wide open.
Yeah.
Folks. Thank you very much.
I was going to say, let's see if anyone has seen the rock and... Can you smell what they are cooking? And I'd like, as we're asking around, I want to spend a silver on just buying from any street hawkers or vendors, literally following my nose and just like refilling my food supplies.
I
will
draw
match
every
you meal for
single
meal.
street hawker and give them a small sketch of themselves while you're buying food.
Okay, could all of you roll me a luck check, please?
Excellent.
3!
16!
9!
3, 16, 9. Okay. Fastur, you find a vendor who is vending like roasted nuts. They are comedically small portions for a person of your size, but It is, and it is also a halfling who is the vendor. So, like the entire exchange is one of extremes in terms of height differences and everything. But you were able to locate that, and they are able to tell you that there is a number of very good venues in town for various different types of entertainment, although only a few of them you'll actually fit through the door.
I sigh and continue and eat my tiny nuts.
Place, you rolled a 9, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you actually do succeed in finding a small china shop, which mercifully the bison managed to miss. It is run by a dear little old lady who is incredibly talkative, but about nothing actually relevant to the current situation, unfortunately.
Oh, I have
she does,
the best
however,
time with her.
Yeah, has a fine collection of plates and other crockery, some even in colours that match your particular colour scheme.
This is the best shop I have ever seen, and I love it with my whole heart. You probably have to come and find plates, because they're just going to talk to this old woman about various china and give her cupcakes and, like, draw her for hours if they're not removed by something more interesting.
You are eventually found later in Tiffany's tableware.
Oh.
Yeah, look up the Tiffany problem, it's fascinating. And then with a 16, Francis, you are able to gather a little bit of information passively from asking various people around the town, just listening to the conversation about these giant cows, because that is, like, most people here don't even really know the correct term for them. But apparently there was a bit of a disturbance when they first arrived. There was a very, very large container full of them, and they ran through the city, but in the opposite direction. The attitude seems to go, God, what do they think this place is? Thrine? You were able to deduce, however, that they did eventually get corralled or paddocked, or whatever the correct term is, about a mile outside of the city, and have been kept there since then.
Okay. How much food do I find?
Oh, in terms of food, actually, yes. I was going to say, you have better luck than either of your companions in terms of food. You find a number of street vendors that are selling everything from hot sausages in a bun to freshly cooked crepes.
I will buy all of the things.
All right.
And I will share them with my colleagues.
Excellent. You return with a hamper, basically.
I'm going to say, then, since we kind of momentarily split apart and presumably are coming back, we didn't set a place to go. We just got lost, and then presumably eventually we found where that you and Tiffany's table were.
And just happily sat.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say,
drinking in the ambience, the culture. Yeah.
I'm going to in which case then I'll say, if you come back last, Francis, plates is happily in Tiffany's tableware, and you'll see that Fastur is sat down on, like, if there's any sort of public bench or anything, he's probably taking it all up. Otherwise, it's just like if there's just anything he can sit down on, or failing that, will lean into a corner.
I have a feeling like most benches here, if you sat on one end of them, it'd catapult anyone sitting on the other.
Yeah, I kind of have to stay in the middle. It creaks a little.
Like bends.
Late, what is your passive perception?
16.
Okay, you don't see this then, because I rolled a 24, and this is before Francis comes back. So while
looking at a bird or something.
yeah, like you're looking at
anything, honestly.
Fastur reaches into one of the pockets or inside his coat, and sheltering with his huge hands, pulls out what appears to be the dried body of a dead robin, holds it close to his mouth, and whispers something to it in gigantic. And then there's a sort of sound from within. He opens his hands, and a live robin flutters out, lands in his hand onto his shoulder. The bird twitters, flutters up and into the sky. And Fastur sort of just leans back, closes his eyes, and methodically kind of shovels tiny nuts into his mouth as, using the spell Find Familiar, he's going to transfer his sight and hearing into Rautha, who's going to fly up into the air and look around for any signs of this rock or anything that would that might stand out from the air.
Okay. As you circle around the city, you can see that quite clearly there are heavy tracks in the dust where the bison have gone. You can actually see the trail that they've carved more or less across the countryside as you gain altitude. You think also you can see off in the distance there's a large rectangular area that appears to have been cordoned off that you presume would have been the area where they were being housed. And you can see that the ground has been churned up quite a lot, as you would expect from having a load of very, very heavy animals moving across it. But also, there are a number of contrasting objects that are strewn out across the ground as well. And it's only really because the paddock is now empty that you can get a good look at them. You'd need to get closer to have a proper look, but the thing that you notice even from this distance is that they are very contrasting with the sort of browns and greens of the landscape around them. Like they're reds, blues, whites, faded yellow, these objects.
It's blues, whites, and faded yellows. Interesting. Well, Rautha hasn't been given... I can't communicate with Rautha unless they're within 100 feet, so they'll fly around, but I noticed this and they'll eventually fly back. By which time, I imagine, Francis, if you've returned, you probably just see me, like, eyes shut, shoveling food into my mouth.
Plates, incidentally, is drawing what they think Gertie, Axel, and Phyllis might look like.
Probably looks like Fastur's meditating.
You can actually softly hear him singing in between the mouthfuls.
In which case, Plates is gently swaying to that.
I was going to keep adding to your pile of food. Because I brought loads of food back with me.
I just sort of periodically take them and like I can taste what I'm getting. I still have like proprioception, so I notice it. And you see me frown a bit, nod and smile. And just in between mouthfuls, just just like nom in between verses.
Are there any of your pockets that are big enough for plates?
Probably.
Like, I don't have something that would fit a 3-foot tall person in easily.
In which case, they just nap in your lap.
Okay, I'm just in my lap.
I have a nap because you're saying
You're in danger of getting eaten.
Yes.
Like I reach down to get some nuts, feel just like hair gesture around, like move around until I find the food again, continue. And then
Not food.
food. And then eventually, like, if you talk to me at all, I don't respond. I'm blind and deaf, and I'm covering it by singing and eating until a little bird like flutters down to my shoulder, and my eyes open.
Hey, your bird's back.
What? Birds? What?
The little fella.
A small bird? Aren't we looking for a big bird?
Perhaps it is worth looking at the paddock where the big cows were. There might be
Good shout.
something of interest there.
Maybe
Let's
some
get
of them
those
will
cows
know
back.
where Gertie, Axel, and Phyllis have gone. Oh, I'm fucking determined.
Loving it.
This time, as we stand up and move away, I flub that sleight of hand check. So, if you got a passive over 10, which both of you do,
Yeah.
you see me reach up, take the little tweeting bird into a hand, move it near to my mouth, and sort of whisper, and you just catch sight of the dried bird corpse being palmed into a pocket.
Did you kill the bird?
No,
Okay.
Are you lying?
you will see Rafu again.
I'll be very upset with you if you've killed the bird. I'll be disappointed.
He sleeps.
Okay. Suspicious look. Big, sad, suspicious eyes looking at you in horror that you've killed your bird.
I'm gonna roll an intelligence check to see if I have any ideas. Nope, that's a 9.
Well, all you know is that I didn't eat the bird. Unless I just, like, drained its life force. Like a straw.
I have detect magic. I don't have the intelligence to think to cast it.
Okay, so you make your way through the town. You can still see like the cracks in some of the paving slabs where the bison have been, and you follow the trail out of the city gate and across the countryside until you come to a fairly sturdy-looking temporary arrangement. Where you can see that Orville is gently ushering all of the bison back into this field. You can also, all of you see in this field, in amongst the bison, some brightly coloured objects here and there. They appear to be just scattered about on the ground.
Okay. What do they appear to be?
As you get close to them, you can see that they appear to be feather-like in arrangement, but there's a mixture of like small tufts of what you might guess to be like downy underfeathers, like as might be on like for example, if it were from your robin, it would be like the red crested part that it's from. Whereas the some of the longer ones look to be like feathers you would expect to find on a typical bird of prey, except that some of these are going on 2 meters long.
Oh.
Feathers are bigger than me.
Yeah. Like, if you were to grab onto the bottom of one and jump off something high, it would be like a sycamore seed.
I've got to say, the
I
feathers
want
are,
one. Can I have one?
2 meters long. The feathers are bigger than Francis.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't know how tall I am.
I'd like to put one at the same angle as my longbow and take one.
Yeah, you can't. you
Feathers
have
are
to
longer
take.
than Francis.
Yeah, you have to take one of the smaller ones just for the sake of practicality. If you were to take one of the 2-meter ones, you'd have a balance problem.
I take one that I can take.
You'd also basically be like, it would be a small sail compared to you. That's another thing, actually. It strikes all of you that if you had a raft or a coracle, you could put one of these feathers in the center and use it as the sail for it.
So we think maybe the rock has feathers as well as eyes and the ability to fly.
What the hell is this rock?
You can see.
I'm getting some very strange mental images of like
Yeah,
a boulder
Francis.
with feathers and eyes just floating around.
With your passive perception, actually, you can see around here as well. There are some rends in the earth, such as might be made by a large object just sort of scraping along the topsoil, creating a small like furrow, almost like it's ploughed earth.
Huh. Something big here.
Yeah, big rock with feathers and eyeballs and the ability to fly.
And that makes huge great scrapes in the ground.
Yeah,
Which I
maybe it's
guess-
a sharp rock.
Yeah, it's a sharp rock. That makes sense. Huh.
It's at this moment that Orville comes over to the three of you and says, "Well, I had never seen anything like that before. We certainly don't have anything like that back home. Any idea what that could be?"
A big rock
Sharp
with feathers
rock.
and eyeballs and the ability to fly.
Great bird.
Well, hell.
Wait, a bird? I thought we were talking about a rock.
It is a bird that is a rock.
Oh, the cow said it was a bird. Like a really
Bird
big
made
one.
of rock. That's
rock
fun.
bird.
A rock made of bird.
That would be very
Okay, well
strange.
that's gross.
Well, if it was something this big, then surely some people must have seen it. Like Vanderkrill said, there was a watchtower about a couple of miles down the road from here. They must have seen something if there's anyone there.
Towers are fun.
I like a tower.
Did say their watch was stretched.
Do you think if I took some of these feathers and like jumped off a tower and did a bit of flapping, I could fly?
I think yes.
Great, let's give this a go. Okay, let's find this tower.
Okay.
Please do that. And like kill this character.
Stride off.
It's alright, I've got a backup character.
You see Fastur give a little side eye to this plan, and one thing I actually realised I forgot to mention: Fastur has hand wraps, like
Yeah.
worn, clean hand wraps that cover his palms, the backs of his hands, and his fingers up to the first sort of knuckle joint. This is quite important, and I feel I need to mention this.
Yep. Good to know. Okay. Is there anything else you want to say to Orville before you presumably depart in the direction of this watchtower he mentioned?
I give him a small sketch of him with Green Man written next to it.
Oh, well, this is lovely.
That's what the cows call you.
Kind of. Really? Well, I hope they speak favorably of me.
They wanted to know if you'd be there when they went back to the field, so I guess they like you.
Oh yeah, I'm not leaving this spot until we've sorted this whole situation out. Now, and he starts like patting around in his trousers, and eventually pulls out a couple of copper pieces and hands them to you and says, "You are a very, very talented artist."
Ooh, shiny, thank you.
And we pay our artists. And
Yes.
Hey, freelancers.
Yes.
the moral law. We pay people for their commissions and their time, etc.
So we'll stride off in the direction of the Watchtower.
I'm gonna walk up Fastur's back and then just stand on your shoulders, because that sounds like a long walk.
Okay. Do you allow this?
I've already got plates sort of piggybacking.
In my head, I was already on a shoulder, yeah.
It's like...
I think that's pretty standard, to be honest. I think I'm usually on a shoulder.
You kind of do it, and I'm just going to try and pick you up and put you back down.
Do the shoes stick to the coat?
I don't know.
How does that
It says
work?
I can walk up walls. It doesn't... Because it's not spider climb boots. It's slightly different. And it doesn't say whether I stick to surfaces or not.
Like Velcro.
I mean, it needs to resist a 17 athletics check.
Acrobatics or athletics?
I would guess this is acrobatics, because it's to do with you being deft and nimble. Yeah.
Then it's a 29.
Yeah, so I try and pull you off, and you just quickly just keep standing on me.
I just walk backwards and I'm at a right angle on your back.
There's a sort of...
Okay.
If you don't want me here, you can just ask, but if you're going to be grabby...
This one's legs are small. You can walk on your own.
My legs are perfectly sized. It's
I'm
not
gonna
even
walk on my
defensive,
hands
it's
for a
just a
bit.
happy statement.
I'm going to do a handstand and just walk on my hands for a while.
Brilliant.
Just to be contrary.
But you are walking, and that achieved my goal of not carrying both of you.
You've got a really good carry capacity.
I mean, I totally can. It's just inconvenient.
Okay. As you're moving down the roads to the east, Francis, could you roll me another luck check?
Ooh. 18. This goblin dice is rolling really nicely today.
18?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, as you're moving down the road, we shall find out what it indeed is that you encounter after these, no doubt important, messages. Crosswater Sentinel! Crosswater Sentinel! Public nuisance strikes again! Giant cow creatures terrorise town! Stampede halted in Saints Market! Multiple businesses seeking compensation! Tiffany's tableware shop spared! Sale on all matching crockery sets! Man not spotted on rooftop! Wait, what? And welcome back. Alright, so as the three of you have been making your way down this road, you see at the side of the road there is a single building on its own, opposite a copse of trees. The building looks like a fairly sprawling two-story affair, with a sign out the front of it. As you approach it, you see that the sign reads in badly spelled letters, "Ye oldie friendly mimic."
Nope.
There is a second sign by the front door that says 7 crowns per person per night, and there's a little slot.
Now, I've come across this thing before and been in your one-shot, Sabbathy, and I've been incredibly cautious because my character would be.
Yep.
How many crowns do I have? I'm going to put 7 crowns in the slot.
Okay. You do so.
Do not have that much cash.
And
The gold
the
crowns.
door
Yeah.
swings open. and it reveals a rather spacious tavern interior with a merrily crackling fire, several very squashy, comfy-looking armchairs, a small bar section with a bunch of drinks in a rack along the back of it. It is, however, notably devoid of other occupants.
Like, there's no one in there.
No, nobody else.
Okay, I might have rushed into things here. This is weird, right?
Oh, it's comfy. I go in.
Okay.
How much was it per person, the crowns?
Yes.
Is the door still open?
The door is still open.
Oh, I go in.
Should we pay more? There are 3 of us. And are we staying? I don't know that we're staying.
Exactly, I don't know if I'm staying yet, so I didn't pay.
Look around.
I'm a bit short.
You're very tall.
Much
No, you're pretty. I mean, I'm tall, and you make me look short. So
Crap.
I kind of like peer in and ask,
How much for just a meal?
actually, yeah, we don't really want to stay. Anyone, but dinner would be nice.
Dinner is good. Can we have dinner?
You see that the doorway stretches and elongates a little bit to incorporate your size, and also from inside, the two of you see that correspondingly the ceiling raises a little bit in order to incorporate Fastur's size.
It's very polite.
This is a polite house, pub thing. How much for dinner? Is the sign still the same?
There appears actually on the bar there's a secondary sign that says all drinks 3 copper, all meals 2 silver.
Okay, so I paid 7 crowns, but we don't actually want to stay. Will that cover dinner?
There is a small kind of rustling noise, and you see out on one of the tables opposite you, there is a tray with a round of drinks on it, and 3 what looks like bowls of soup.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I'm just gonna natural 20 on my insight check. Because I rolled a 25 for the arcana of what this thing is.
Okay.
So just like
Right, well, I will deal with one and then the other.
Does this feel like a trap?
Insight.
Insight was the natural 20.
Right.
Which would make it a 19, because...
Right. Well, you've certainly been in less hospitable pubs. It doesn't feel like a trap, but I will say actually, you've come across situations not exactly like this before, but you get the impression that everything here is done on an honor system, but that it would be a really, really bad idea to try and abuse that honor system. Like, if there's a take a penny, leave a penny tray, you fucking leave a penny.
We are on hospitality rules here. Be polite. Break nothing without paying for it.
Okay.
But this house is beholden to the same rules.
Yeah, you do see actually a set of stairs leading up to the second floor to this place.
Do you think the house would like a cupcake?
Yes.
Hello, house. I have a cupcake for you. I put it on the bar.
The cupcake slowly sinks into the bar and disappears.
Hope you liked it.
I'm gonna
I'm going to dig out some leftover street food and put it on the bar and watch.
I'm going to put 3 silvers down to cover food and drink, just to
Okay.
be safe.
They also sink into the bar and disappear.
Point. Yeah, I mean, this is not something to turn down. I'll take a seat and just start shoveling soup into my mouth.
Okay,
I too will eat soup.
Seems to be perfectly edible soup. Slightly under-seasoned, perhaps, but
Take some spices out of a pocket, season it with a bit of pepper.
Yeah.
Is there bread?
No.
No salt, no bread. That's like Fey rules. Salt and bread are the things that make you safe. Francis doesn't have any idea of this law.
The beer that you were drinking seems perfectly normal, albeit a little bit weak.
Fastur's paid. He's eating. He's drinking. There's not been a bar yet where they've decided that it's turned on him, where he hasn't at least been able to break his way out.
Okay, the various different food items that you put on the bar, some of them sink into the bar, some of them return. Some do not return.
Which ones return? Like, what kinds of things return?
Yeah, well, you've got still like a plethora of various different street foods, haven't
Yeah.
you? So,
And a cupcake.
yeah, well, the cupcake does not return.
Excellent.
What about the hot dogs?
Yeah, the
Don't exist yet.
Oh no, it was a sausage in a bun, wasn't it? It's not
Sausage in a bun.
well, sausage on a stick.
Sausage on a stick.
stick, that was it.
Yeah. The stick returns. Yeah. Anything I'll say. Anything vaguely meat based or with a high fat content goes.
Well, that's most of the street food.
Yeah, definitely.
There's probably an apple that I bought without thinking and then remembered I don't really eat fruit. I'm guessing
Well, if
that
it's
comes
a-
back.
If it's a toffee apple, the apple appears pristine, but all the toffee is gone.
House eats toffee apples the same way I do.
Isn't that how you're supposed to eat them?
Yeah, I think so.
Seeing its return, I pick up the apple, wipe it on a handkerchief, and just...
It's a perfectly good apple.
I've got to know, how does that taste?
Crisp,
Yeah.
little tart.
You're a little tart.
I think he'd have to be a big tart.
That's fair.
I look up at him.
Soup's good. My compliments. Wish.
I look around.
Have you seen a great bird, a rock, flying this way?
It's
Either
like a
big
boulder
bird-
made of bird flesh, and it's got feathers sticking out of it, and loads of eyes.
Yeah, eyeballs. And also flying. And it took... have you seen Gertie, Axel, and or Phyllis?
Okay. The room that you're currently in is vaguely rectangular in shape. And there are a number of windows, obviously, on the front-facing wall. And there is one window on the wall that is sort of looking out down the road on which you were travelling. And this window just slides open.
Were we supposed to go in?
I think we could use the door, but my thanks.
What if the window goes somewhere different?
I peer through the
Notice
window.
also on the outside, like a lot of the windows have like storm shutters on them that open and close. The storm shutters have opened, outside this window.
Well, I'm going through the window. You two can go wherever you like.
I'm going to go
Through the
outside and
window.
see if the window goes in.
Okay.
Like, is it the same window from the inside and the outside?
It appears to be. If you crawl through the window, you land on your feet outside. And if you look through the window from outside, you can see that Fastur is still sitting there at the table. But you can see that the storm shutters are sort of flapping gently, but there is no breeze.
Are you flapping your shutters at us?
Little tart.
They close. They open again.
Is that how you talk?
The window closes and then opens again.
Okay, 1 open for yes, 2 opens for no. I haven't got any
Close,
questions,
open.
so that's a problem.
Have you seen a really big bird and or a rock with eyes and flying and lots of eyes and flying and maybe feathers?
And Phyllis.
And Phyllis. Gertie, Axel, and or Phyllis. Maybe we should split these up
To be
into
honest,
more questions.
Phyllis is my favourite. I'm kind of going off the other two.
I mean, I think it's very mean to play favourites. I'm equally attached to all of them.
The window closes halfway and then opens again.
I don't know what that means. Have you seen a big flying rock with bird flesh and eyeballs and feathers?
Slow close and open?
And is it like this direction for this window?
Close open. Yeah.
Right.
Rapid.
How many hours ago?
Well, how on earth is it going to tell us that?
Do as
Okay.
many opens as there were hours.
There
that
is
makes sense.
There is a clock in the corner, the hands of which start spinning around rapidly, and it lands at 3 o'clock and starts striking 3.
That could mean anything.
Could be some distance to travel then. Thanks for the information.
How fast do hours go here? Was 3 hours long ago?
It's 3 hours.
Yeah, but were they like quick hours or like slow hours?
How long did it take us to walk here from the cafe?
Oh, you've been going a couple of hours already, and you get the impression that Orville, from his accent, is possibly from Sunder, and maybe has a different appreciation of the scale of geography than a lot of people around here.
Okay.
I pause a moment. I feel once for 3 hours ago, twice for 3 o'clock in the morning. I said
Close open.
3 hours ago. Okay.
Nobody's answered my question as to whether they were quick hours or slow hours, and that feels like a pretty crucial detail, to be honest.
We arrived just under 3 hours ago.
So 3 hours that are like those ones. Okay, that makes sense.
But none of us saw. Narrow my eyes for a moment. Wait.
Wait, what?
When you were... Francis, when you were talking to the air,
Yes.
there was someone there? I heard
Yes.
a voice talking back.
Yeah, which was very reassuring, I've got to say. Because I've had nights where I've been talking to the air and no one else hears it, and that's concerning. I bang my head a lot, I'll be honest.
You do bang your head a lot.
Fastur scratches his head.
It would take a lot to make a whole rock invisible. Perhaps we should have spoken more. Well, let us proceed onwards and see what we can find.
Okay.
I think we're going to have to keep carrying on down the road.
Climb on his shoulder again.
I sort of bow my head to the house as we leave, having already paid.
Yeah, the window slowly shuts, and the storm shutters on the outside close.
I put a sketch of the house in the slot where the money's supposed to go.
It slowly recedes.
Bye.
You see the shutters on the front of the house are open and closed, but they sort of sweep from left to right.
It's waving. Adorable.
Yep.
I love this place.
I guess we'll carry on and see if we can find the actual Watchtower as well. But
okay.
By the way, I had as much soup as I could.
Okay, yeah.
Poured it more into a flask if I could.
And the slightly disconcerting thing is the second you put down an empty container, it disappears. It just recedes into the table or into whatever surface you place it on.
Did I get refills? Or was it just the one bowl?
It was just the other one.
Was it a big bowl?
Yeah.
That's alright then.
If it was a big bowl, you probably finished mine.
Probably alright.
I'm very small.
It's a bowl poured a little into the thing. I couldn't look back.
And on the bright side, you can stay there this evening if you want.
Gesture to Francis, because you already you paid up already for a night.
I did. I have some money and no regard for it.
Well, to put it in perspective, though, you do now have a place with which you are in credit.
This is true.
Yes, that is unusual for Francis.
Okay, we carry on looking for any further signs of the Watchtower and all of the rock.
Okay, you continue for another couple of hours. A thing that you are that you all notice is that with the countryside rolling by you, it is quite quiet and peaceful. You don't really pass anybody on the road coming the other way. After a couple of hours, though, just as you're starting to actually, you spy the what you believe to be the Watchtower, which appears to be a large stone tower rising up out of the plain. You immediately understand why it would have been built here. The surrounding countryside is quite notably flat. Without a great deal of altitude, you would be able to see for miles and miles and miles from the top of this tower. You're also struck by the fact that it looks a little in disrepair. There is no visible people at the battlements, and as you approach, it does appear to be somewhat quiet. You notice it at first because there don't appear to be any birds singing or visible in the sky. There's not all that much other than maybe occasionally the buzz of an insect passing by.
If Gertie, Axel, and or Phyllis are here, they are being very quiet.
Should we shout for them?
Gertie!
Axel!
Phyllis!
Just a gentle face palm.
This goes on until you stop it.
Yep.
Having already started making lots of loud noises, it just slowly shakes his head.
As you approach the Watchtower property, you see that there is like a bit of a leat or a gutter along the other side of the roadway that you're on before it breaks off to lead up to the door here. As you are walking and yelling along, Francis, unsurprisingly, is the first to see. There appears to be a body by the side of the road here.
Oh, body.
No one's sleeping, I kick them.
Hop down on my shoulders and just
Yes.
kick this corpse.
Okay.
Gently, but I kick it.
You see that as you kick this body, it slowly kind of rolls over, the mouth kind of agape, the eyes rolling back into the back of the head, and then sits up, bolt upright, and raises itself to its feet and reaches out for you with one hand. I'm afraid everybody needs to roll initiative.
Okay, I was totally going to dare you to put your hand in its mouth. I have changed my mind.
There are
Probably
a number of
still
other
will if you do.
figures that pop up from around the area, but I'll get the initiative from you first off.
13.
Okay.
Where comes my initiative gun? It is a +5. That is a 24.
Jeepers. Okay.
I get advantage on initiative, and I rolled well.
Oh, we've done the typical Flintlocks thing. If we have two characters, both with the the name that starts with the same letter.
Yay!
Okay, 25 and what was it you rolled? Plates?
14.
14. Cool.
It's a 24 for me, not 25.
Oh, 24. Cool.
Do I have a thing? I've got a thing for if I go in first and around.
And you may well, but let's see how the. Oh yeah, you definitely go first. You definitely go first. Seeing this undead thing grab for plates, what do you do?
I'm going to draw my bow and shoot it.
Okay.
It says, hello, friend.
I have a creature of sympathy. I get advantage because I
Go
am
first. Yep.
an assassin, and I am going to use sharpshooter.
Okay.
So -5 to my thingamajigs, but I've got advantage, so I'm hoping that'll be enough anyway. Oh, it's not a great roll. That's only 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Lovely. Which means I get sneak attack as well because they're engaged with
Fair
a
do.
person. So that's an extra 2d6. Where's it gone? Where's my bow? It is a d8 and 2d6. 4. Nice. Oh, really nice. That's 15 plus 6, 21. Plus, I made it a sharpshooter, so I get plus 10 damage. So that's 31.
Okay. Describe how you kill this thing. It was only a lowly zombie, but yes, that thing is dead.
Like right between the eyes, just a single arrow, really neatly between the eyes.
Okay, it doesn't really even have the presence of mind to reach up at the fletching sticking out from between its eyes, and it just sort of lolls back into the ditch. But this time, however, you've noticed that there are a number of other living impaired figures that have all kind of popped up from various different parts of the surrounding countryside. Weirdly, they all seem to have been concealed by some of the tallish grass that's been growing around the base of the Watchtower.
Okay. I'm guessing they're within 150 feet.
They
In fact,
definitely are.
600 feet. My longbow has a lovely range. I'll shoot another one of them.
Okay.
Whichever one's closest. And they haven't gone yet, so I still have advantage. Oh, I should have made it sharpshooter and I didn't say that. Oh well, that is a 28 to hit.
A 20. Yeah, that definitely hits.
And it's not as much damage. It's only... Oh, I've rolled a 1 on the damage dice, so that's 7.
7. Okay.
Rubbish. Anything else?
Damage is damage.
I don't think it's worth doing any of my special arrows. Is there anywhere to hide?
Not easily. You might be able to hide in the lee of the Watchtower itself, but one of the reasons why you get the impression this Watchtower was built where it was is it has supreme views of all of the surrounding land, because all of the surrounding land is pretty flat.
How far away is the tower?
The tower is about... the door of the tower is about 50 feet from you currently.
Cool.
It's back from the road.
Where's bonus actions? What can I do with my bonus action? I do have... Yes, I can dash as a bonus action.
Yes, you have cunning action, don't you?
I will run 10 feet up the side of the building. Like 50 feet to get to the
Oh, okay,
tower,
yeah.
and then go 10 feet up the side.
What is it? Yeah, I guess, yeah, because you
I've got...
Fine,
yeah, my movement's 30 feet. If I'm dashing, I've got 60.
Okay, so you're 10 foot up the side of the tower. The tower is maybe 80 feet tall in total.
Cool. I'm just trying to get out of bite range.
Yep, fair. Okay.
That is all I can do.
Right, so next up, we have plates.
Are there any particularly near me?
The one closest to you has just been killed, but there are several within about 30 feet of you currently.
How many total?
You can see 5.
Okay. Figure out what I want to do. I don't know any of my abilities because new class. Okay, I'm gonna knock an arrow and still sat on Fastur's shoulder and shoot a zombie.
Excellent.
There's one that I hit already. You could hit
I'll
that
shoot
one.
that one.
That is true.
Excellent. That is a whole 12.
That is enough.
Oh wow!
They don't have a particularly high AC.
Where are my d8s? That is 9.
9 damage. Yep, that is enough to take that one down.
Yeah, and I think I get an extra attack in this character. How exciting!
Yes.
So we'll do that
4
again.
remaining.
Another.
Another!
That is 15, which I imagine also hits.
Yes, that also hits.
And the damage that time is 10.
10. Okay. The zombie is very heavily staggered.
Right.
If that's the end of your turn, we're on to Fastur.
Yeah, I'm done.
Cool. Where's the... So... 5 zombies within 30 feet of us, although...
Well, 4 now.
4 now. How close is the nearest one?
The nearest one to you is about 10 feet away. It's just sort of... It's close-ish to where the first one was, kind of now standing up out of the gutter at the side of the road.
Cool. I'm going to move so that we are... I'm going to move so that I'm not right next to the one that went down originally. But keep within 10 feet of the one that did, and as an action, and I'm going to lift up my the previously mentioned cable-like ogre-sized quarterstaff and just at the zombie nearest to me, because this thing is 10-foot reach, That is horrendous. That's a 9 to hit.
That just hits. They have an AC of 8.
Okay, I think I literally have to get a natural 1 to miss these then. So yeah, I swing and the first hit connects for 12 points of damage.
Okay.
With the back of with one end of the quarterstaff. Is that enough to knock it down?
Yes, it is.
Okay. There's just like a thud, a dull neck snapping sound. How close is the nearest next one?
From there, it's actually with the reach from your quarterstaff, you can make it. Yeah.
Okay.
You're in melee with that as well.
Swing. Oh, that one's a natural 20.
Okay.
But
I'm just going to say you kill that one straight
I mean,
off.
yeah, I'd like. Yeah, okay. I will just say that.
Yep.
I think that actually, because it was of how I rolled, didn't do much damage, but I'll take it.
I pre-rolled the hit points for these things randomly, so
yeah. So one neck snap was a twist, and then I sort of shunt the cable-like quarterstaff behind me and just break the ribs of the other.
Okay, there are 2 left.
And I'm just going to go to them and just turn and look at the 2 remaining. Come.
Okay, the 2 that are remaining do indeed sort of shamble towards you.
Great. The moment one of them gets within 10 feet, I use my reaction to take an immediate attack.
Fantastic. Okay, do it.
Dirty 20 and 10 points of damage. Just.
Okay. That one is very, very badly wounded. In fact, no, yeah, that one's also dead now because it was previously hit.
Yeah, just as soon as it comes close, I just pin it down with just going straight through the ribs with the quarterstaff.
2 remaining. One is very injured. The other is untouched currently.
Cool.
Okay. So the remaining one that is untouched does lumber towards you and attempts very clumsily to... I guess really the only part of you it could really reach would be like your knee or your like upper thigh. So it's going to attempt to bite you. Does a 22 hit you?
It does, strangely enough.
It rolled very, very well. Okay. Right, that is that much damage. Okay. Okay, you take 4 piercing damage, but make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, 21.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, you're right.
You get the distinct impression, like surprisingly, these are not the most sanitary things in the world.
No.
But you're fairly certain you aren't going to have any lasting effects from that. Okay, we're back to the top of the round with Francis.
So there is one in melee. Is that the other untouched one?
Yes.
I will sharpshooter that one.
Okay.
Draw another arrow, do a sharpshooter. That is a 22 to hit.
That definitely hits.
I also get sneak attack because it's in melee. 12, 14, 18, 28.
Oh, yeah, you kill it in one. Describe how.
I want to take its head off.
You do.
I want to just hit just the right point to destroy the spine and take the head off.
You in fact hit it with such force that the head sails away across the road, and it sort of rolls down with the haft of the arrow just sticking up like a little flagpole.
Wincing, I pull out the 2 teeth that were still embedded in my leg.
Ow.
I was biting and cast them
Okay.
down.
Is there
One
one
remains.
more? Lovely.
One
I have
remains.
another attack, another sharpshooter attack.
Okay.
Not great, but these things are easy to hit. That's 12 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Because I'm minusing the 1, so... Oh, 8 on the dice. That makes it 14, so that's 24 damage.
Okay, you kill this one as well.
I
Describe how.
love Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter's
I've
really
forgotten
good.
how much I haven't bow and arrow charactered in so long. I miss
I'll just say,
Steve.
for Sharpshooter, there is a reason why Corzin and Molly work very well as a husband and wife team. Right. So,
yes. I want just to go up its nose. I want to slightly curve the arrow so it goes up the nose.
Okay, it does so, and it sort of goes through the motions of like silently sneezing before it falls backwards, spread-eagled on the ground. In the aftermath of this, you notice something that you didn't in the heat of battle notice before. All of these undead creatures seem to be wearing military uniform, but it is not the uniform of Brighthall, as you might expect. It is, in fact, you would recognise the uniform of Orsiria. There are tattered bits of red livery all around them. And we will find out what the full ramifications of this are next time. Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you all very much for listening. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.